back, everyone. So let's remove the bookmark and continue our epic tale. So as the hours pass by, Dior is up doing his normal bartending things. Axio's keeping a sharp eye out, and you all completing your evening of your rituals, practice, and writing spells. Midnight approaches, and Dior walks down the stairs.
Dungeon Master, I just wanted to mention that during this time, Duran would be packing everything up, getting ready just in case they need to book it tonight.
Okay, so you pack up everything pretty well. Dior walks down the stairs. Alright, everybody, this is Tom. I can lead you half of the way, but Cal should be able to take you to the rest. There you'll meet your adjudicator. You'll notice because they'll be wearing a green metallic outfit. They'll be standing underneath the chrysanthemum tree. So, you ready to go?
Yes, and Horatio begins to cast Alter Self and makes himself look like a regular tiefling.
Alright, so you go ahead and cast the Alter Self spell, transforming yourself into a tiefling doppelganger. The rest of you?
Duran is going to pull out his disguise kit, and he's going to offer his services up to anyone who wants to get disguised, and then he will do himself last.
It feels wrong to approach the queen in a disguise.
I agree. I'm going to touch my circlet and activate mage armor and say I'll just wear a cloak and keep myself covered until we are in her presence.
There are many eyes on us. If the queen cannot respect our prudence, she does not understand how severe this problem is.
Then, I guess I could use help with the disguise.
Here, Minako, have one of the kits that we purchased.
Alright, so you all... so Minako, are you disguising yourself using the disguise kit?
She will attempt to enlist the aid of Duran, if possible.
Yes, Duran will like to assist Minako with the disguise kit. Or at least he'd like to use the disguise kit on her since he has proficiency with it.
Yeah, you can totally do that. Oh yeah, so this will be... So on both of you, you'll assist each other doing your disguise kits. You can roll at advantage. We'll say roll at advantage, adding your proficiency bonus, a performance check. Or deception check. I'll accept either.
Cool. So what Duran's going to do is he's going to try to have Minako hold all the trays of all the different colored dyes and things that he's using to kind of do her makeup up and do her eyebrows and do her hair. Please, don't move. He kind of he gives her kind of look, kind of adds a lot of volume to her eyebrows and to a lot of other features to make her look a bit more aggressive and like Minako's a more kind of pale tiefling, make her look kind of red and very, very aggressive and fierce with big, large, bushy eyebrows.
Alright, so go ahead.
There, now no one will push you around.
Alright, go ahead and roll that check for me.
Come on, good check, good check, good check.
And remember, it's at advantage.
Hold on, almost there.
Bam! Natural 20. So a total of 26. So yeah, both on you and yourself, you do miraculous disguise that fools even the keenest of minds. As Horatio, you look on over and then double take, not recognizing your allies.
Very, very nice job.
I do not have your gift for magic, Wizard Horatio. I have to make do with what I have.
Believe it or not, the way that you do it takes a lot more talent.
Not only do you beat people physically, you also know how to beat a face.
I had a very good surface to work with. He kind of makes he kind of gestures with his hands towards Minako's face like a frame of a picture. She has very strong cheeks.
She makes a fierce face to go with her new appearance. She says, "Excuse me, there is something I would like to try, but it might take a few minutes. She wants to cast the augury spell before we go, just to see, maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. So she will, kind of go over to the center of the room and sit down with her new fierce appearance and pull out the knuckle bones and start throwing them and looking at them and sort of making notes. She says, "This will take a little bit of time, but I should find out something."
Do you need assistance?
She just shakes her head and then begins calculating.
So you go ahead and are you casting the spell?
Yes, she will. She will take 10 minutes to attempt to cast augury to see whether or not in the next 30 minutes the attempt to go see the queen will be, how that'll turn out, whether or not worth the attempt, I guess,
All right.
or at least just have a glimpse, like a portent.
Okay, so you go ahead and using your items and bones and divination tools, thrusting them onto the ground, casting your augury spell. When you do so, you see that the bones begin to move and the dice begins to roll, and an imprint of a burning hand is left onto the ground. And then you see it shift and move, and you see two results. One is it looks like a finger touching down onto the ground of the burning hand, and then you know of good tidings. And then you see two fingers pressing up against the die in the other items, letting you know that there were also bad results.
She has a very serious look on her face and sort of nods and then sort of waves her hands, and the magic disperses in a cloud of smoke, and she puts away all the little knuckle bones. She looks up and says, the wheels turn well for us, but who knows how well?
That's so ominous. What's gonna happen?
I guess it all depends on how the conversation goes, maybe.
We have to be very cautious.
What did your bones say?
My bones said to be cautious.
Okay.
And then she kind of comes, she like walks up to King and puts her kind of sharp fingers on his shoulder and leans in and smiles and says, "Look, it's gonna be okay, but you got this. You gotta represent us, and Kai's gonna be there. He's relying on us. Everyone in the kingdom is."
Horatio also says, and maybe we should hold on to the fact that you're the one who created these miracles, at least until we know we can trust her.
Well, I believe Myliki when she told me yesterday that the queen has not yet been influenced. So I think that you're right. We need to trust her, and well, let's see how that goes. But I agree. We won't lay all our cards out at a first meeting.
The queen is just. She will do what's in the best interest of the kingdom. If we make it clear to her that what we're doing is the right thing and how we can help, she'll be good. But she's also known for being capable of making the hard choice for the good of the kingdom. And I don't know what that could mean for us.
Well, I trust her, but the stakes are very high, Duran says while trying to kind of hide a dagger up his sleeve for the meeting.
Well, let's just remember that I don't mean to be disrespectful as I look towards Monaco and Cal, but we're not from here. So if she does not wish us to intervene, we have to respect her wishes. We're foreigners in this land.
Cousin, we've gotten too deeply involved in this. We cannot go back now.
I didn't suggest go back.
Then what do you suggest?
Press on, look for more of those shards and try and prevent Doramo from obtaining more pieces. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to speculate. Let's see what she has to say. All I'm saying is we just have to keep our eyes open and look at all of our options.
King, if we abandon these people to this, if we leave this alone and go for the shards, people will die. That blood will be on our hands.
People are dying either way. There will be blood on our hands no matter what we do. I've accepted that, and I just don't think that the rest of you have yet. But we will do what is best for as many people as we can, and I do not suggest abandoning. I'm just trying to be tactical.
King, you must be just!
I understand.
Duran, you have to understand there are certain steps that one must take to achieve what they need, and sometimes being tact is smarter and better.
I'm tired of watching people die.
That is why we fight, and that is why we will press on, should she not give us the answer that satisfies. But let's have faith that she will. I believe that, as Monaco said, sounds to be a worthy leader and a ruler for the masses. So hopefully she will see what has happened and heed our call.
If anyone can convince her, it is you, cousin.
I will try my hardest. But Kai, you're the one, and your name carries weight. You should lead this conversation, and I will add where I can.
I'll do what I can, but I don't know if my name really holds weight anymore.
Well, it was enough to get us this meeting, so at least there's still some gravity to it.
I hope so. So Noir turns to you all. So, you all ready to go?
Just
Yes.
about thick.
All right then. And he goes and leads you all outside of the Blue Dragon blind, throughout the doors. Now everything has dimmed, almost similar like Frostmourne, how the crystals illuminated during the time for the proper, illumination. It does the same here, and so it gives that darker, warmer sense. And you begin walking throughout the streets. It's quiet. Some people are walking about, but for the most part, it's not bustling as it was earlier during the day. I need you all to roll me stealth checks, as Noir is leading you stealthily.
Does being in a disguise help?
Not in this sense, no.
I'd like to use an inspiration to make that a 15.
Everyone who rolled underneath, well, for the most, actually no, this is a group check, so you all pass your group stealth check. Monako, you're not used to, you're a little off-put by your disguise, and it makes you look a little bit different, a little bit taller, and you try to get your dimension straight, but for the most part, you blend in with the rest of the group, sneaking throughout the back alleyways and parks that Noir Dior is leading you to, and after about 15 minutes of walking, he stops next to a tall tree, and he says, alright then, looks y'all need to head on further down up this north street here. Cal, lead him to the gate. There you'll see the tree and the adjudicator waiting for you. Keep to the shadows. Don't get found out now.
Thanks for coming this far, friend.
Well, of course. Well, if you excuse me, and he fades off into the background, blending in with the darkness, leaving you all there to yourselves.
All right, let's continue on, everybody.
Okay. You all continue walking. You're very stealth enough, so no one seems to notice you or pay mind as you walk by, and you keep close to the streets and the alleyways before making it to what you see is a tall stone, ice-like stone wall going up about 30 feet. Standing underneath a tree with a little light shining on them, you see is an armored figure in the description that Noir Dior had told you. And it seems like, and they don't notice you at all because you guys are very stealthy. What do you do?
Believe we just should approach him, right?
Yeah, this looks like who we're supposed to meet.
All right.
King, do you want to do the introductions, or should I?
You do it.
All right.
Could I take a quick look around to see if anybody is keeping a watch on this individual?
Roll a perception check.
21 with a nat 20.
You look around and your eyes are sharp and you try to peer around to see if you see anyone in your vicinity, but no one seems to be following. No one seems to be looking around. It's just them standing here underneath this tree with a little light on them.
I'd say it seems clear, Kyle.
All right. And I approach.
I'll be right behind Cal.
Okay, so you approach up, still stealthily walking. Then they finally notice you. This tiefling wearing the same armor that you've seen the pseudo Ray that you fought back in Arrowwatch wearing. Same design, same color. Are you them? Are you from Noir Dior's?
Yes.
Keep your voice hushed.
Right. My queen wants to speak to you. Please, if you don't mind, follow me.
We have others with us, just so you know.
That's fine. I was told about your group from Nior. The queen would like to meet all of you.
Let's go.
We follow.
He leads you towards closer to the wall, and eventually getting close enough to it, you see how massive it is. The street changes from its stone flatness, like concrete, into more of a cobblestone roadway leading towards this tower. This wall. There is a small door. In comparison, about 6 feet or so, Duran would definitely have to bend to get through it. That he walks you towards. He puts in a key that he pulls off of his side, twisting it and opening it up, leading to the interior. And as you all walk in, he kind of single files you in one by one, and Duran, you ducking underneath. You then see a large hill and staircase leading up higher and higher, and in the distance, the crystal ice-like castle that is Castle Fia, where Queen Camilla stays. Alright, this way, come on. It's a little bit of a hike, but I'm sure you'll be fine. And he begins walking up the staircase.
Once we get inside, Minako will remove her disguise.
Okay.
Because she's the only one in a disguise right now, right? Besides Horatio.
Yeah, Horatio's also, but I mean,
Duran is also in a disguise too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Alter Self would have ran out by now.
So you guys are all dropping your disguises as soon as you get in? Is that what I'm getting? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Duran, you too?
No, Duran does not.
Good to know. So you all continue making your way up the staircase. Takes you about 5 minutes of a hike until eventually it plateaus to another smaller set of staircase. But these staircases lead into the glass-like ice structure that is the front of this massive castle. There's several spires piled upon each other, and they go so high up that you can't see them, but where the clouds start to take place in the sky. Excuse me. There are 2 large double doors that go probably about 30 feet up, but he does not take you towards that way. Instead, he walks over towards the side where you see there are these glass-like where you see there's a window, a large window, and underneath it there is a door, and he puts in the key, opens it up and says, "This way, please," and again ushers you all to go through there. Eventually entering inside, you immediately feel how cold it is inside here. You begin to shiver, and all you especially who are not wearing your Viking realness anymore, because the entire place has been very comfortable, you immediately feel the sharp change of temperature. Your breath is now visible, and everything inside here looks like pristine, shining ice. All the furniture, the glassware, silverware, all that, everything is just shining crystal-like. And the hallways continue going. The hallways are lit up by flames that are floating up in the sky, and he leads you down another winding corridor. All of it's like blue and ice-like. Eventually, wrapping your way, going up and down staircase that takes you another possibly 10 minutes to get through. Some of you getting probably tired or bored just looking around, but it's covered in beautiful artwork and stone and ice statues and sculptures. So eventually you're led to a blue large door that has gold etchings all around it, and a crest on right in the middle of the door of the Queen Camilla's lineage.
Do we encounter any portraits or similar things of like people that we would recognize or familial things besides crests?
You see lots of portraits of people you probably don't recognize, though you do see several of them, and most of them are of a beautiful tiefling woman. She's in different outfits, and one of the outfits she's wearing armor with a sword at her side that's very thin, and she's more of like a dark gray bluish color herself, blending into the outfit that she wears, with long white hair, beautiful long white hair. But eventually you do get up to the door, and the adjudicator walks up and opens it, kind of knocks on it hard. You hear muttering from the other side, and he goes ahead and opens it up. When he opens it up on both sides, it says, the door opens up. And inside, you feel a gust of cold air that, even though you're already cold, it makes you shiver. Inside, you see a beautiful, luxurious bedroom. There are armoires and beauty tables, all made out of beautiful diamond-like crystals and ice. Sculptures, and in the far end of the room is a large, double the size of a king-size bed with a very thin ice sheet layer, veil over it. And he says, my queen, I bring those who came on behalf from Nordior. Yes, they're here. Bring me my wine. I wish to drink while I talk to our guests. Yes, your majesty. And the veil that's been blocking the bedroom kind of blows up as if wind is pushing against it, and it flaps onto the top of the canopy of the bed, and you see lying down on blankets are 3 tieflings. The one in the middle looks like the pictures of the of the woman you saw in all the paintings, with her horns go back and they break off, but they're floating there. Like her horns actually crack into pieces as they go back behind her head, but they remain floating next to it. On top of her head, she has an ice crown, each with like different pieces of ice that make up the perimeter of it. Wearing a blue silk outfit. She's there, and then the left and right of her is a male and a female tiefling, kind of like underneath her arms inside the bed. And you do see at the left side of her bed is this sword that seems to always be, it's just shooting out ice shards and like cold mist coming out of it.
Duran, obviously in the presence of that much royalty, understands to like take a knee or bow.
Horatio bows as well.
I also take a knee.
Similar gesture.
Yeah, and I'll speak out loud before I take a knee, or as I take a knee, I'll pull out from my satchel the cask of Blue Dragon Blind Ale, and I'll say, we appreciate you meeting us this evening, and a small token of our thanks as an offering, and I'll hold up the wine as I kneel.
She pulls herself out of the bed and gets to the side. The two other tieflings are kind of falling down onto the pillows behind her. She closed up her robe that was a little revealing, though from that distance you couldn't see much. And she turns to the other two. You two, Lave, I have much business to discuss. We'll have fun later. And they smile and giggle and they run past you, closing up their robes and leaving the chambers. And eventually, walking up, you see, and she's she's pretty tall, taller than all of you, other than Duran, who stands a few inches above her. Thank you. Blue Dragon Blind Ale, you say? A great offering. You've done your research. And she goes and grabs it for you. You may stand, she says, turning around, taking the decanter and placing it on a table next to her.
Thank you, my queen.
A few moments later, the adjudicator before her comes with cups and another decanter of wine as well, placing it next to the table with Queen Camilla, and she dismisses him. Close the door, and the door closes behind you both. Well, we have much to discuss, don't we? A little birdie told me that you've come from Frostmoor and bring news. Do tell me. Oh, beware my manners. Have a seat. And there's like a ice sculpture of a couch near where her bed chambers were, and she begins to pour some glasses of wine.
I'll say, thanks for your hospitality, and take a glass of wine and sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And he also sits down as well.
Monako is a little paralyzed with nervousness, but eventually will join.
Alright, she goes and sits in the opposite of you, so you're all kind of sitting around her at like an amphitheater-like formation. So, tell me, I'm assuming you're the Liberators that I've heard so much about? That news from Frostmoor say that I should arrest you upon sight?
We are.
Interesting. So, well, why don't you all tell me your story, and I'll make my decision afterwards. Things don't seem to add up, and I haven't been in contact with Kaijin, and we are always in contact.
He's been gravely injured.
Oh, has he now? Go on.
I don't wish to overstep my bounds. Kai, do you wish to explain what has happened?
Yeah. Your Majesty. And he takes out the daimyo's seal, or the crest, looking at it. You bear the crest of House Goren. Yes, Your Majesty. I'm Kai Goren, adopted son of Kaijin, and
we also have this too. And I'll pull out the seal, and I'll say, we have met with Kaijin and proven ourselves, and he has given us this, and I'll show her the seal.
She goes and grabs both and places them on the table, her eyes furry a little bit. Go on. Well, Your Majesty, Hiei, my father's brother, returned after a long, long time of absence and challenged me and my allies to the Northril. And at this, she puckers up a little bit, but doesn't say a word. You see, I'm sure of it, but he did something to my father. His soul, his essence are separated from his body. I've never seen anything like that. He's working with some strange drow by the name of Doramo. I don't know what's going on, but I invoked my name of Goren and decided to take leadership, if not to just get it away from Hiei. But him, as being a true Goren, he called the Northril and challenged us with a daimyo ship, and we lost. Now there's a price in our heads, and I think he's coming. He's coming to take over all of Fia. He's gonna rule Shiverin.
But he shouldn't even have been given the chance. He's also become a monstrosity and now stands as the one thing he stood against. He has done something and augmented himself. He has demon scales and hands, and even his head and tail has transformed. He is no longer the person he once was. He is no longer a Goren, in my opinion.
That wizard, that elf, he had some sort of influence over him, and some kind of connection to the demons.
In fact, my queen, we believe that this elf Doramo is responsible for the fall of Arrowwatch. We were taking supplies to help bolster the city's defenses. A small contract, you understand. And when we got to Arrowwatch, everyone was gone. And on the way there, we saw a massacre.
She stops. She immediately perks up. What? Arrowwatch has fallen. Why have I no news of this?
We returned to Frostmoor as quickly as we could. We actually opened up a scar of our own to get
What?
back. And as soon as we returned, Frostmoor was in chaos.
Okay, alright. What you've told me are grave indeed. Not only is one of our main defenses gone, but you've opened up a scar from there, possibly opening it to other disasters. And then Frostmoor was under attack from Hiei, who apparently is now the daimyo. And I'm now learning about this, though I've had my suspicions, because Kaijin would not have put forth a wanted posters around here and controlled his demon dances in my domain.
The scar was closed by demon dancers upon our return, but as we've told you, things spiraled out of control, and now he's making the demon dancers into something purely chaotic and wrong.
And he's also being controlled. As soon as the battle was won, this Doramo appeared and said, I rule them. I command. And Hiei bowed and agreed and gave in and ceded his command to this other evil. So know that it is a complex and layered issue. I don't know what it means, but I think it is surely cataclysmic.
Your Majesty, may I speak?
Before you speak, I don't know your names. Please introduce yourselves in front of your queen.
My queen, I am Cal Morgul of Fia.
I'll say, my friends and allies call me King, but my name is Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn it is. And she looks on over towards Monako. And you?
I am but a crystal maiden of the Temple of Nyx. I am known as Monako. I was there when they first arrived, and I've been with them ever since. I saw everything.
And then she looks on over towards Horatio, but before you get to introduce yourself, she goes, You look familiar. Do I know you?
Do you recognize the name Kane?
Yes, I do. Now,
I am Horatio Kane.
Kane, as in Susan and Frank Kane.
Yes.
Well. Look who graced my presence, the child of Frank Kane. Well, the gods are strange indeed, aren't they, to bring you into my presence? And she looks visibly disturbed.
I do not know the actions of my parents. I am only here to do what I feel is right for Duskhaven.
Well, it's interesting to see that Susan ended up with Frank after all. Well, good for her. But now their offspring is here to taunt me on the one who got away. In any case, let's go on with your story. So you're telling me that Hiei is in charge, that zealot who wishes nothing but Frostmoor to rule all of Shiverin and become the capital.
Oh yes, he still wants that. He mentioned that.
Shit. my army, it's nowhere near in comparison with that of Frostmore and the Demon Dancers.
Yeah, he was quite strong.
How can I believe you? How do I not know this is not some ploy?
Why would we risk ourselves to come to you?
Well, if you don't mind, there's one way we can do this. And she begins to spin her fingers around, and a goldish blue light shines out of it, and you feel the all those who are trained in religion, you feel the divine energy coming from her fingertips as she crosses them and puts them into a square-like formation. That same square she forms comes out and expands, going across all of you, and you immediately feel the effects of a zone of truth. And she goes, I cast upon you the zone of truth in the name of Nyx. Accept, and then speak only that which is honest and true.
I will I'll put my hands out and accept the magic as it washes over me. And once I know it has taken effect, and I'll say, we speak true, heed our call. I am Harley Quinn, champion of Myliki, chosen by Nyx, graced by Kalimvor, divine champion of this land, and I speak for these people. We mean only to aid you and save Shivrin.
Do the rest of you also give, or do you want to roll the wisdom saving throw?
Horatio accepts.
I accept.
Duran says, I will need no magic to speak the truth, and he will take off his disguise right there. I am Duran the Gale of the Valkyrie Elves of the top plane of the world, and we have come seeking your help, Queen Camilla.
Minako will also voluntarily fail the spell.
Okay. She turns over towards Duran, the only person who's taller than her in here, and almost bigger than her in a sense, because she exudes this grace of empowerment and
Presence.
yes, this presence. And she goes, I appreciate your candor. Well, you speak the truth then. What do you know of Hiei's plans?
Your Majesty, I am from the top world. I'm from the top layer of the void, and my people, the Valkyrie Elves, some of them have been tricked and deceived, mutated and transformed, their bodies defiled and their minds twisted by the villainous drow Doramo. He has a power over their minds. My people, our minds are normally strong against these sort of tricks and deceptions, but Doramo, his magic is like no others. I fear that he has turned my people into an army that he will use against the rest of this void. He says that he will use the artifacts to create a weapon to destroy the humans and to wipe them from existence. He has turned my people into his army, and I fear he has come to do the same to yours.
Well, by the new gods, this is alarming. She goes and pours herself another glass of wine and begins drinking it. So your ventures from the world above. Well, I should have taken it here if you're with a king.
Horatio kind of just looks down and
She walks up towards Horatio. You have her eyes, so pretty. And she, although she seems calm and collected, every time she's referring to you, there is this tone coming from her. But in any case, well, I need to prepare. If he is controlling the demon dancers, then they are searching for you. I believe your story checks out. I trust you.
Your Majesty, it is even more complex than that. They have joined forces with demons themselves and have the power to pervert the symphony.
What? And ice starts to shimmer and grow around her skin, and you all feel even colder than you did before. Still not enough to roll any damage, but you're getting pretty cold. Ice is starting to come up on your mustaches or the tips of your hair, and so on and so forth. They perverse the symphony.
They say that they unlock words or verses to an incantation used to unseal a great evil. So not only is it reversed, it is then going to be weaponized against us.
From when I was able to correct one at one point, I noticed that they took the same symphony itself and just reversed the effect of it and had it playing backwards.
We even saw some of them do it to one of ours. They just had some ritual and it just started...
She looks at you and turns around and whispers, And you're all close enough to hear it. The Song of Balthos. No, it can't be. And she turns around sharply again, looking at all of you. These are trying times. This song you speak of that you've heard, I've heard stories, legends, and they're not good. This all can't be a coincidence. And now that I'm hearing that there are fountains of heaven's dew somehow growing in the frostbite and throughout in the pathway between Frostmoor and Airwatch, these miracles, and then the song being reversed, this is no coincidence by Nyx. Something afoot.
In brain chat, Horatio says, but instead of saying it broadcasted, he says it to each person individually, and he says, should we bring up that King made that?
I think we should. She needs to know.
She is our only hope now. We must tell them the truth.
And I say, Your Majesty, the one who made those miracles occur is, and he nods over towards King.
She turns and she looks confused, and then she looks up, like scanning the perimeter, checking to see if the Zone of Truth is still up, and she looks back. That's impossible. She takes another sip of her wine. You might believe that you've caused such a miracle, but only one who is truly divine can grow it in the cursed world, the cursed lands of Shiverin.
My queen, these are not the only miracles. My friends here, well, except for Kane over there, we've all unlocked vagaries. Elves unlocking vagaries? These are truly important times that you speak of.
As you say that, she coughs up a little bit, and this is the least dignified you've seen her, even when she's been upset or shocked. When she almost spits out the wine when you mention that they have vagaries, and she goes, "What? It's impossible."
I'm going to stand back, stand up, but as I stand up, I'm going to screech my chair back, and I'm going to say, "Let me reintroduce myself to you. My name is King Harlequin, champion of Myliki, blessed by Nyx, balanced by Kalimvor, speaker of the gods, champion and chosen." And I'll then bow to her.
Phantom is stunned. So you have a vagary in you, she says, looking over at Duran.
Duran gets up and he using his movement, performs a small movement dance. I am Duran the Gale of the Valkyrie Warband, protector of King, liberator, and cloud dancer, or at least cloud style.
You know cloud dancing. Are you? Well, you're not of high-born tiefling lineage. How do you know cloud dancing? This doesn't make sense.
How do you know his lineage? He might be a high-born Valkyrie.
He's not a high-born tiefling. The blessing of Nyx is only cast upon the tieflings, unless she granted favor for you. But why? This doesn't make sense. Well, that you've certainly brought me news. If what you say is true, this small boy, he points over towards King, can do miracles of creating heaven's dew at that vast quantities in Shiverin itself, and that you and this other elf have mastered the arts of tiefling styles of demon dancing, of vagaries.
Well, I would say mastered, but
unlocked. It doesn't matter. And you
My queen.
Envoy of Nyx?
My queen.
Yes.
I know we gifted you with that wine, but here. And I give her this plain-looking water skin that's full of the dew.
She takes it from you and opens it up. This is remarkable.
Please accept that as truth, that we would not lie to you.
She puts her finger into it. You see a little mist, icy-like mist come out, and she pulls it back. I can't freeze it. This is indeed heaven's dew, and of the purest of kind. Not of that, of Thelos. Pure heaven's dew.
I'm going to take out a small satchel that I have on my belt, and I will open it up, and I will pull out one of the heaven root seeds, and I will say, and here is the seed. I have planted 2 in your lands.
She looks at
They were given to me to bloom in places of darkness.
She looks at the seed and puts it down again. Indeed, these are heaven's roots seen from Thelos, and you were able to grow them here in Shiverin. Sorry, I can't believe this. I mean, though the proof is right in front of my eyes.
And with all these miracles, we are still powerless before the power of Doramo and your kingdom. That is why we so desperately need your help, Your Majesty.
Throughout my lineage, my father, and his mother, and so on and so forth throughout my entire family tree, not only have we ruled over all of Shiverin, but we have been connected to the divine. Throughout Nyx, we keep her records and her stories, and we do her will. For generations we've tried to grow the heavens dew here, to bring it back where it was originated from. This ice, these waters you see here, trapped into the mountains, all of it, the ice and the icebergs, all of it were all heavens dew, trapped in an eternal state of ice, unable to release its divine form from the days of old. It was our duty to protect it, to harness its energy, and one day bless its lands. And here you are, bringing it to me before my very eyes. Strangers from another world. Envoy of the gods, you say? So you can see my shock. And at that moment, as she's talking, coming through the doors as it bursts open, is the same adjudicator who says, my queen, you have guests? They say they're, I don't know, they just kind of walk through some what looked to be a scar of some sort. They're on their way here. I tried to hold them off a little bit, but they are intent on meeting you. I think they're demon dancers. All of you, she says, Queen Camilla, in there, and she runs back towards opening up her large armoire and says, and you see that it's quite large, full of clothes and open spaces and other armor she has. Hide in there. Go. And she beckons you to go in there.
I'm gonna scoop up that seat and put it in my bag and run in the door.
I run in the door as well.
Duran, if he has 1 second, tries to very quickly get rid of any trace that he was there before diving into the door.
Yeah, you're able to pick up the rest of your stuff and go in there.
The armoire, it has clothes in it?
Think of it as kind of like the wardrobe, armor wardrobe, like into Narnia,
Yeah, okay.
which you can keep going in there, and then it continues.
Jump in there too.
Actually, right before I walk in, I'm going to look towards her, and I'm going to just quickly flick my wrist, and I'm going to say internally and use a subtle sorcery point to subtly cast guidance on Queen Camilla, and say, a blessing from the goddess, and give her a d4 to her next check, should she need it. And then go into the cavern, or armoire.
Okay. See you all. And Kai turns and says, be safe. And she goes ahead and jumps in. And the moment when you all go in, close the door, you hear footsteps walking through the door. And Queen Camilla says, it's rude to enter my chambers without my permission, no matter who you are, demon dancer captains. And you all hear a familiar voice. Yeah, was sent here by the true daimyo, the new daimyo, to introduce and come up with new terms. I, Flame Dancer, Captain Genju, at your service. And it's I, Miss Dancer Captain, Hitomi. Don't forget me, Yuri! So, what do you Demon Dancers captains want here? And what does this true daimyo speak of? What of Kaijin? Well, my queen, Kaijin is no longer leader of the Demon Dancers. After a Northril you may or may not have heard of, Hiei has reclaimed his birthright, my father, and he wishes to start things off properly with the Queen of Shivering. This is news to me. Why didn't Kaijin tell me about this? Why was there a Northril without my permission? It was done in the name of Goren, which you know succeeds the monarchy when it comes to Frostmourne. And let's just say that Kaijin put up a good fight against Hiei and lost the Northril fair and square. Did he now? Didn't think that Kaijin was so weak to lose to a man such as Hiei. Well, my father is quite strong, stronger than you would remember, Your Majesty. He'll be here within the 10-day, bringing a show, bringing other demon dancers in the core with them to just discuss matters. Friendly, of course. Well, why yes, of course, friendly, I'm sure. And one last thing. We're looking for fugitives. They, were against the changing of the daimyo ship. Though fair it was, and tried to strike up a rebellion within. They were strangers from another plane, seekers. They go by the name of Monako, Cal, King Horatio Kane, and I'm sure that name might ring a bell, and Duran the Gale. Also, the daimyo's illegitimate son Kai might be with them. As he is not truly of the Goren name, he did not have the right to call for a Northro battle, and in a tantrum attacked Hiei. We're searching for him. Also, we think he might have attacked his father. Kaijin's not well. Did he now? Yes. So be on the lookout. And let us know. I know you know how to reach us. His daimyo ship, my father will be here soon. Prepare for his arrival. Let's go. Wait, well before you leave, was that a scar you used to enter my domain? That's not even supposed to be possible. Let's just say, he has unlocked new powers, new abilities, that he's willing to share with all the people here in Fia. All of Shiverin. This will help us in our battle against Thelos. Battle against Thelos? Whatever do you mean? With all due respect, your majesty, you're a bit narrow-minded. He will be here shortly to talk about that within the 10-day. If you don't mind. And all of a sudden you hear kind of a sound of steps, of feet stepping around, dancing around, and before you hear a tear open up, like a sound of a tearing, like a and you recognize it's the sound of a scar being opened, before a sucking sound like goes, and then almost like a zipping sound as well. Liberators, come, they have gone.
Oh, Nix, what he did to Genju? She will open up the armoire and come stumbling out.
Okay, you gotta come stumbling out there onto the ice-like ground, sliding a little bit.
What happened to them? That doesn't seem like the people we met.
It may have already been too late.
They are
Under Doramo's sway?
Yeah. Yes.
Is there a way to break it?
I might have something, but it is extremely dangerous. It's kind of just a theory, but if I copy a disruption magic into that chaos page, maybe I can reach in and break it.
Does that mean you might be able to break my people free too?
If it works, it's a possibility, yes.
Whatever he's doing, we have to stop them. That wasn't like them at all.
If anyone could do it, you would. Abjuration is your specialty. I think if anyone has a shot, it's you.
I can. The only thing is I'm not sure of what will happen messing with chaos magic. Makes me a bit nervous.
As you're saying this, Queen Camilla walks over. Chaos magic? You didn't tell me everything. What do you know of chaos magic? I've seen that scar open up, and that was not a regular demon dancer scar. Scars are forbidden here in my castle for just situations such as this, or so demons can't enter. But they were able to use some strange magic that I've not seen before to not only create a scar, but then to close it on their exit.
They draw that magic from the void.
It's something Doramo taught them, or did to them.
By Nick.
I have been researching on it, and I can copy a spell into one of the sheets and add it to my spell book, but I don't know what will happen when I do that.
Do you know anything?
Camilla turns and looks on over to Kai. I know I've been talking about being truthful, but I haven't been completely honest. But after seeing what I just did, thank you. You deserve a right to know. Kai, I'm close to Kaijin. We talk about matters of Shiverin and how to govern. As I am the queen, he is my warden, and I trust him as my advisor. A long time ago, he told me a story how he found a boy wandering out in the woods. A little boy coming from the woods in Neverlight. Named him after him, Kai. Neverlight is the stronghold of chaotic magic here in this side of Shiverin. So much that I forbid it from anyone entering. I forgave him for his transgressions from going near there, and his deciding to raise you, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Nix be it, I didn't know if you were a cursed child, but I trusted Kaijin in his judgment. But now I see this chaos magic is rampant everywhere, not just in the void, where indeed I know it's where it comes from, but also coming out of Neverlight, and now it's here, in my very doors, controlled by the demon dancers swore to keep it at bay. And Kai looks completely shocked. He's not saying anything right now.
It's as we've said. They've become the thing they swore to fight against.
Doramo's done something to them. We have to stop him.
I don't know who this Doramo is, but indeed, if he's working with Hiei, And in dealing with this chaotic magic, I fear for all of Duskhaven, not just Shivering. Even Thelos is in danger.
Queen Camilla, he will be in attendance with Hiei, almost certainly. You should do everything within your power to get magics that will make your mind immovable. If possible, find some way to guard against it, because he will attack you in the same way he has them.
I'm fine. And she goes and she touches the ice-like crown that's on her head and then puts her hand down. Just trust me, my mind is locked up very tightly. It would take something truly divine to break through. So, thank you for your worry. But I don't think Hiei is coming here with his demon dancers for a talk. He wouldn't be bringing an army with him. As either A, he's going to bombard and take over Fear like he's always planned to, or sneak his way in and do it from the inside. But I can't just attack him and do anything about it. The demon dancers quite outnumber my adjudicators. She stops for a second and looks at all of you. You were not brought here by chance, I know that now. You were brought here by the gods themselves. You have one blessed in ways that I can't understand. To be able to summon that of the heavens due. Too much is happening too fast. No one knows anything. Can I trust you all with a task? Wait, much too great.
Whatever we can do.
She stumbles over towards her desk and takes out a pen and paper and begins writing very quickly. And after she finishes, she takes out a stamp. This bears the mark of me, myself, the Queen Camilla. I know this is sudden, and you need not to leave immediately, but definitely before he arrives in the 10 day. Gather yourselves. I need you to travel to Thelos, to the arcane capital itself. Bring this to Terminus. I don't know how you'll get his attention. He's a hard man, but if you show only him this, be sure only him can see this. Maybe we can have help in time, before he plans whatever he is planning. If you just stay here, you'll die like the rest of us. But I should be able to hold them at bay. At least talk my way out of this. But you must quickly go, and it is a very long journey.
My queen, we will do this, whatever we can do. And she looks back at the rest of the team.
I nod my head. Yes, my queen. We won't let this happen.
I am guided by my goddess, and she brought me to you, so your wish is my command. To Thelos we shall go.
I am here to right or wrong.
Duran nods.
Alright. Kai finally speaks up. I'm gonna stay. I can't just leave my home. Besides, you need eyes and ears here as well. If you don't mind, I'll keep your enchanted jewelry to talk and let you know what's going on. I have to know what's going on with Neverlight. My connection to it. This is my queen. Can you please tell me more? As much as you can. We have plenty of time to talk within this 10 day. Yes, you are the true daimyo now, Kai. I see that. This is what Kaijin would wanted. We'll have to work together to bring down Hiei and Doramo, and the rest of the demon dancers are under him. Break whatever spell he has over Genju and the rest of the captains. I know Genju. That was not him. Yeah. If you stay on the roads, I'm sure they will catch you. There are demon dancers even within my walls of fear. Go out to the ship. And she goes and hands you another small piece of paper. I have a boat. It's called the Ice Crown. You'll see it will have my sigil crested upon it. Show the wharf master this, and he will let you use it. Take that, and find a way across the Golden Sea to make it towards Thelos. Also, might be able to have a captain who can bring you there, who knows these waters. But it will take me a couple days to get everything together. Do you have a place you can stay, where I can reach you if needed?
We're staying at Noir's. And Kai, I recommend you keeping in contact with Axios and Noir. They can keep you up to date with the demon dancers that are already infiltrated Via.
Kai turns to you. Right. Thanks, Cal. Thanks, everyone. I'm gonna stay here for a little bit with the Queen. I think we have a lot to discuss, a lot to plan. I need to step up. I need to do what's right for my people. Alright then. Will be good on. I'll reach out to Noel. My adjudicator has connections with him, and they'll be able to reach. When I have the captain ready, you guys can plot your course and find a safe way into Thelos, making your way to the arcane capital right in the center. Remember, don't hand that note over to anyone but King Terminus himself. How you can get an audience with him, I don't know. He's a hard man to come by even for myself, but I'm sure you'll be able to get this. You got an audience with me, didn't you? I have faith in all of you.
Camilla, one thing.
Yes.
I just wanted to apologize for intruding in your mind before formally meeting you. I'm the one who sent the message directly to you a few days ago. And I bow my head.
I figured as much. You were telling me nonsense about what happened in Forcemore, and I didn't believe it at first, but now after speaking to Noah and now you all, I understand your urgency. You're forgiven.
Thank you.
Well then, is there anything else you wish to ask?
Can I make a shrine to Maliki in Fia?
Sure, but there are shrines of Maliki here. The true devout of Nyx knows the alliance between the two of them. A combination of the Prolefsi and the Aegis.
Cal, you didn't tell me that there was a temple here. I asked you when we first came.
I mean, I don't know of
Don't hold him
but,
accountable,
I mean,
it's fine. Not many people worship any of the old gods here. We worship most of the Aegis after, the old gods left us to our turmoil from the creatures down below and in the material plane. But through the powers and the combination of Nyx and Maliki, they were able to protect us, bless us, though stories has it that Maliki has gone missing. Her call just whispers upon those who are devout to her, so many have left the fold.
That would make sense then. And I'm gonna look at Horatio and glare at him. Be like, that makes sense now. She's missing.
But as one whose family worships Nyx in the highest of orders, I do believe in the alliance between the Aegis and the Prolefsis. Maliki and Nyx have shown us that when they work together, miracles happen. Legend has it that's how we all obtained our vagaries, and perhaps how you were able to get yours. Never in my wildest dreams did I thought non-tieflings blessed the blanket of Nyx.
Do you want to know what type of dancer I am?
Sure.
Do you want to take a guess? Care to wager a guess?
I haven't a faintest clue.
I'm a mist dancer.
Are you now? She begins stepping around in a circle and spinning slowly. And as she does, the ice sculptures around you melt and become water, and then begin to coalesce and furl around her, and then around you, and then around her again, until they form into a large ball, a spherical water of a water sphere. And she holds it above her fingers until it completely turns into ice and shatters into just dust. I as well.
That's amazing. I would be honored if I could be a student of yours in the future once we get past all this craziness. I hope to enhance my abilities with it one day, as I am still quite new.
Perhaps one day, when this is all over. But that would be a story for another time.
It is getting quite late anyway. Well, I am relieved that this meeting went as well as it did. I thank you again for your time.
Alright then. Well, she
right? Isn't it 3 a.m.?
You guys been talking for at least an hour, and then it took you a total hour to totally get here. So it was getting to 2 a.m. You will be risking getting exhausted. But she snaps her fingers loudly, and it echoes throughout the chamber, incoming as an adjudicator. Yes, your Queen Camilla, your highness. Leave them outside, safely, unseen through the side passageways. Don't want them to be noticed by any peeping eyes.
On our way out, Monako goes up to him and just says, "In case I don't see you," and gives him a hug, or a small sign of affection.
He embraces you back. Thank you, Monako. Thank you so much for everything you've done. We'll talk soon. And he flicks over the jewelry of sending. Don't worry, I'm always a brain chat away.
Don't forget to call, she says, looking at him, and then kisses his forehead.
I won't. And the adjudicator goes, well, if you come this way...
I'll say, before we go, do we need that seal of the daimyo? Will that be useful, or are you going to keep that?
Of course. I would keep this to yourselves, but here, and she moves her fingers around again in a dancing motion, and the same water-like stream appears from one of the side statues, picks it up and carries it over to you in a hand. It's like a mage hand made of water.
Sure, I'll take it, and I'll say, just sentimental reasons. But you're right. I'm not gonna wave it like a flag, but I would just like to have it. Thank you, and I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Okay. And if there's nothing else, you all say your goodbyes to the queen. The door closes behind you as Kai and her begin talking more. The adjudicator takes you down winding paths that twirl around and goes out strange passageways inside the castle until eventually opening a door you leave throughout an unknown side, not from where you entered from. And he turns to you and says, "Alright then, good luck. I'm sure the Queen will be in contact. May the blessing and Nyx be over all of you."
And also with you.
He leaves your presence and you all finally make it back to the Blue Dragon Blind. It's pretty empty, maybe a couple late night drinkers. Nora looks at all of you as you head down the stairs, using your key to get into his private chateau. And performing your nightly rituals, what do you all do before bed, if anything at all?
Seeing Genju like that broke my heart.
Just remember that it isn't him. It's Doramo.
I hope he's still in there somewhere and not just like that now.
I wanted to meet Hitome so bad and tell her that I became a mist dancer, but not like that. I don't want to meet her in that way.
Remember this happened to Galdrum too, and he broke free. There's hope for all of these people.
Should I, prepare that tomorrow? Maybe we can check in with Galdrum?
King Galdrum was on the run the last time we spoke with him.
Yes. Oh, he said he would speak to us in a week's time. You're right. He said he needed to lay low. You're right. Okay.
But I believe we can do this, King. I believe with all this that we have, maybe we can liberate those people whose minds are under the control of Doramo.
Absolutely.
Minako she looks down and she says, "Even if you were to clear out Doramo's influence from Hiei, he's been with him for so long. Even before that, or there's no saving him. And everyone else, they're just doing whatever he wants them to do."
Well, we won't let them do what they want anymore. With Queen Camilla on our side, we might be able to fight back. Maybe she's giving us something we can use. Maybe we'll find our answer in Delos. We must find our answer in Delos.
I can try to reach out to an old teacher of mine. He might know someone we can speak to.
And now we have to leave shivering.
Alright. So is there anything you'd like to do before bed? It's quite late.
No,
No.
I'm gonna head to bed, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, so you all go into your respective rooms, opening up the magical door that leads you to your individual places of slumber, go into your trances and sleeps, rest for the evening, and we'll place in the bookmark and end tonight's session.
Woo! Clap, 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 clap.
Good session.
Oh my goodness.